Hey guys, here we go for this video about Microsoft Entra. I'm just before to start the video, I'm sorry for my low tone. I'm a little bit sick. I have a stuffy nose, so if I'm talking with this kind of voice, I'm sorry in advance. So guys, before we tackle those scenarios, and by the way, I don't know exactly what this scenario is about. It's Leo that sent me the scenarios we will tackle right now. But just again, like forgive me if I'm not that quick by doing stuff because I need just to think and to process with those scenarios. So before we talk about Microsoft Entra, I just want to I just want you to I just want to explain you this regarding Entra. I know that most of you are getting confused, and even though you're trying to search and you saw like many type of definition on YouTube or whatever the platforms, it's not that clear. I'm gonna give you the right way of looking at it. Okay, so as you know, or maybe some of you not, but Microsoft Entra is a PaaS. Okay, so is a platform as a service. It means that what is a PaaS? It's like you need to see it as a toolkit for IT builders. It gives them the tools, meaning, as you know, identity, access controls. It's exactly what Entra is doing. It's only managing identity and access controls across all the framework, like all the framework of Microsoft 365, and it's creating a secure system to all this structure of Microsoft 365, but it doesn't handle the actual end user app, meaning Microsoft Teams, Microsoft OneDrive, SharePoint, etc., etc. Okay, but on the other hand, this so let's say Entra here, but on the other hand, Teams, okay, Teams, what else? OneDrive, SharePoint, and all of the others products of Microsoft, they are a SaaS. Okay, they are a SaaS, meaning it's software as a service. And you already know what software as a service. It's like Zapier. It's like most of the Google, like whatever type of software that you're using, it's a SaaS. Okay, this definition is not that complicated. You need to think of it in our case as SaaS for as a fully set up office. Okay, like a fully set up office where you just walk in and start working, and everything, meaning chat, calls, files, is ready for you to use. But in Entra we are building. We are configuring access control, we are working on identity. This is why this is a PaaS. Okay, it's a very important definition. Now, there is also another analogy that I want you to tell you about Microsoft Entra, and I think you will like it. It's a very good analogy in order to understand in depth what is Entra. But okay, let's say this, guys. You have a building here, okay? You have a building here, and you have many level, like many, sorry, we say in English, hold on, yeah, floor, sorry, I just, my brain not functioning well right now. Floor, you have many floor, okay? Let's say level one, sorry, not level one, okay, level one, level 2, floor 1, floor 2, floor 3, floor 5. Okay, and here it's the entrance. Okay, here it's the entrance, and you have a door that will give you, and here you have a path and in this path you walk. Okay, you walk, you here, and you simply walk there. Okay, you simply walk there, and here, let's say it's your it's what it's your Microsoft 365. Okay, it's your Microsoft 365 structure, meaning here, for example, it's Teams. Because you know why I'm saying this? It's because most of you are going to use these tools about Microsoft 365, or going to use the admin centers of Teams, of OneDrive, and start to do your work. But many of you guys need to precisely to understand, like, I'm talking only for beginners, right? I'm not talking for advanced people. I'm talking for beginner. The nesting ports in your brands in order to connect everything could be a bit confusing. Okay, it could be a bit confusing, and that's why it's important that you know, because I know some of you told me, yeah, I know exactly how, like, what is Teams, what is OneDrive, for example, here OneDrive, what is SharePoint. Okay, and let's say another tools of Microsoft 365. There is what is the name of this one? Uh, pa- Power Automate. You know, like for example here, Power Automate. It's not a like the best example, but this it's fine. Power Automate. Okay, like they are all product of Microsoft 365, but there's plenty of them. Intune, sorry, it's yeah, it's the one that I wanted to say. Intune here, but let's leave Intune for, yeah, let's just say Power Automate. That's fine. So you have all this structure, but you don't know how it is nested, and why Entra is a PaaS, and why all of the others are SaaS. And I'm gonna give you another way also of saying this. Um, Sorry, I'm just closing tabs. So you need to look at Microsoft Entra not as floor here, not specifically as floor. The analogy that I'm going to give you, it's correct. Okay, you could make it, you could say a different analogy and it could work also, but I'm just going to give you my analogy. It's like the security team at the front desk of the building, or it could be the security team posting here. Okay, there is, for example, you know, like this little room. When you go, for example, I don't know, not in France, but most of the time when you go in, it could be in Africa, in Asia, or in Middle Eastern, in Dubai, etc., Qatar. There's always, you know, before you go into a building, or before you go into many building, there's always this small room that is for the security team, you know, and they have like a some sort of not bridge, but fence, and they open the fence or close the fence. And this security team, guys, I'm gonna call it ST. They are Microsoft Entra. They check your badge, meaning your login credentials, when you enter. So without Entra, you couldn't get inside the building or access any of the floor apps. And even if you're here, the security team is like, for example, you have a guy and he's following you and telling you, okay, here is your badge when you coming to our Microsoft 365 structure, and with this badge you can only go to Teams, for example, or you could only go to OneDrive, or if you want to go to SharePoint, you need then to provide us more more credential, let's say, no, let's say more identity, just more identity. Yeah, let's just point it like that. Okay, identity. Okay, guys, so did you get my point? It's not that complicated when you look through this analogy. And yeah, so like I said, you will go the security team, again, I'm saying this again because it's very important that you get this. he will open the fence for you. He will open the access and tell you, okay, you can access this door and coming to our structure in Microsoft or Microsoft 365 structure, but you could only go to Teams. But if you go, for example, to SharePoint or Power Automate or whatever the things or whatever the thing that you want to make, for example, in Teams, you need more authentication. Or yeah, it's simple as this. So like this, guys, you will have a clear understanding of what is Entra and why it's so different than these other apps. Okay, so yeah, guys, it's exactly how you should look at it. It's exactly how you should look at Entra. They are the other thing that you could say, it's to make just the analogy a bit more real. It's, for example, you could say they are like they are like the higher floor, and they are the let's say the HR team, okay, and they are giving the actual uh, all the information to the security team so they could operate. So it makes just the analogy more real. The security team operate based on what the HR team are telling them to do. Okay, so they are the authority, they are the big authority, and the security team is simply doing what the HR team wants. So if you have access, they will check, for example, they have a laptop here, they will check, okay, he has access, so he can go to this floor, he have access for everything, like he's a global administrator. Okay, so you can look at it like this. Okay, guys, so this is I'm done with this analogy. Now we will cover scenarios, which is tickets to Entra. It's going to be very, very interesting, guys. I just need like